Hey, Shaylin. How are you?
Good, good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you again for partnering up with us to do this, put this on.
Welcome, welcome. I like that background.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Miss Felicia and her comms team created some Big Thought themed backgrounds for us to utilize
Oh, cool.
when we're on meetings and stuff. And this is from Diverse Lounge, which is that spoken word event that we have for students. And our final Diverse Lounge, and I'll send you guys the info, will be live on the 25th of this month.
Okay.
So
Yes, send me
next
that.
Thursday.
Sure. Which is going on with my light? It's going out.
So I figure right at 6, I'll start admitting people that are in the waiting room. There's one person in the waiting room right now. Felicia didn't get a chance to get around to sending me the number of people that registered, but I know that one of my team members who works with a group of young men who are all seniors in high school, he passed it along to them, and a few of them were interested in learning more about y'all's program, and some of them even specifically were wanting to learn more about the automotive repair program.
Okay, cool, cool.
So
sounds good. Which I may have to let me step and get this plug real quick. We got a little bit. There we go. That's better. Yep, that's better. Okay. And this, here, echo. Why do I hear an echo? I don't know.
you hear an echo on your end?
Yeah, I hear myself.
Okay.
Why does this thing keep going off? What the heck? Well, we're going to improvise.
Was anyone else from y'all's team going to be attending, or just yourself?
I'm not sure if they will be on Zoom or not, because this is going to the Facebook, right?
Yes.
Okay. So they may kind of, tap in just on that end, but I'm not sure or not.
Okay.
I think it'll just be us today. This does not want to cooperate. Probably use this too much. Does not want to do right. It's okay.
Let me give it about one more minute, and then I'll start. I'll admit all the people in the waiting room. We have 3 right now.
Okay.
But like I said, others may be joining in from Facebook. So I might not be able to view them.
Okay. What's the limit of participants on the Zoom itself that you guys can do?
I think Zoom holds up to it's either 200 or 250,
Okay.
maybe, because I actually purchased a monthly account,
Mm-hmm.
and that grants you access to have more people be on the meeting at one time.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and admit them, make the introductions for myself and yourself, and then I'll go ahead and share my screen and get the PowerPoint going.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Oh, I see some familiar faces.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vincent Coronado, and I work for Big Thought. We're a nonprofit based in Dallas, and we had the privilege of partnering up with On the Road Lending, who is also a Dallas-based nonprofit. I want to introduce Ms. Shaylin Scott, who's the regional director for North Texas for On the Road Lending. She put this PowerPoint presentation together for y'all, which gives a great overview of what On the Road Lending is and the programs that they offer. We're going to hold all questions to the end because after the PowerPoint is over, I'll open it back up to the room and we will have a Q&A with Ms. Shaylin to answer any of y'all's questions. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started right now. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Hello, and welcome to the presentation of Getting People to Work, an overview of On the Road Lending's mobility program. My name is Shaylin Scott, the Regional Director of North Texas, and I'll be your host for today's discussion. So who is On the Road Lending, and what motivates us to do what we do? Well, at On the Road Lending, we're a nonprofit that's based here in the Dallas area that helps low to moderate income families get affordable and reliable transportation based on their character and not their credit score. Now, we've been around since 2013, and from all of our work in the community and all of our efforts with families, we help them to achieve economic independence through personal car ownership. And we found that this statistic here is a big motivating factor of why we do what we do. The number one reason that people lose their jobs is a lack of reliable transportation. Not skills, not education, or productivity, but simply the inability to get to work on time or at all. So who exactly does our program help, you ask? Here at On the Road Lending, we're able to serve a wide variety of people, from young to old, families, singles, you name it. And we focus on persons who may have credit challenges or no credit at all, who may need additional assistance in finding the right vehicle or car that fits their budget and their need. And because we focus on someone's character and not their credit score, we're able to serve so many more and give people a chance to rebuild or establish their credit the right way. I know you're probably asking yourself, what makes us so different than any other car dealership or bank when there are literally dealerships on every corner? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is why. Predatory lending. Now, I'm sure you know of someone who's purchased a car that they are constantly paying to keep running, or someone that's in a vehicle that they simply cannot afford. Well, here in the U.S., 75% of consumers are known to have subprime credit. Now, that's a credit score in the low 600s or even lower. Now, on average, our clients, they have a score of 520 or less. And in some states, such as here in Texas, car dealerships and lenders can charge you up to 27% interest on a vehicle. 27%. Now, that's just based on your credit score alone. Now, at On the Road Lending, everyone pays the same interest rate, and that's 9.75%. Regardless of your lack of credit or challenged credit with repossessions, foreclosures, debt, everyone is able to rebuild or establish their credit from the same starting line. Now, I know it probably sounds too good to be true, so I'll tell you exactly how we're able to do it. This is our theory of change. At On the Road Lending, we focus on 3 core areas: long-term financial education and coaching, offering an affordable and low-cost loan, and providing access to a reliable and affordable vehicle. In our coaching and financial education, we offer an online financial education course to help you not only understand more about your finances, but how to be a smarter consumer as well. Our coaches are here not only to serve as educators, but also as advocates for you to help you ensure that you're able to afford not only the cost of getting into the vehicle, but the cost of being able to stay in your vehicle and maintain it for the life of your loan. Now, as I mentioned, with our loan, everyone pays the same interest rate. But a bonus is that you don't have to find an outside lender or someone who will approve you. It's all done in-house with us through our character-based lending model. We're the ones that do the work with you to make sure you're able to afford it for the life of your loan. Our loans are typically 5-year loans with no penalty to pay them off early, and we won't finance you for more than your budget can afford. As far as the vehicles are concerned, this program is not for your dream car, but perhaps is for the first step to that dream car. We won't finance luxury vehicles or sports cars, but we typically get persons and individuals into vehicles that are typically 2 to 3 years old or less, 40,000 miles or less, with gap insurance and warranty written into the loans. It's important for us that you're in a car that's fuel efficient, that has low maintenance issues or costs, and is known to hold its value. Now, you may be asking, how are you able to help people all over if you're based in the DFW area? I live in a town that doesn't have public transportation. Maybe I can't get to you. Let me tell you how we do that too. Don't worry, our entire process can be done remotely. Now, if transportation is an issue, we don't want you to have to figure out how to get to us to take part in our services. The application process, the financial education course is all online, and even our coaching is done remotely. They're able to assist you via Skype, Zoom, whichever way you feel most comfortable working with your coaches. And because of this model, we've been able to serve the entire state of Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. We were ready for social distancing and COVID-19 before it ever existed. So don't hesitate to spread the word about our program with your family, colleagues, friends. And now's the best part. Let's see if you qualify. Now let's see if you qualify. Number 1, do you have a government-issued ID, a matricular card, a passport, a driver's license, a state-issued ID? If you have those things, check. Next, we want to make sure that you agree to take financial education and coaching. I know that sounds weird, but we want to make sure that you're willing to take a look at any financial issues you may have had prior to coming to us. You're willing to acknowledge that and move forward and make the right choices moving forward and make positive change. So that's important. You're willing to do the work to get into a vehicle. The next thing we take a look at is your income. We want to ensure that you have enough income to afford taking on an added expense of a vehicle. So we have an income minimum, not a max. We want you to have enough money to take on that cost. So our income minimum is at least having an income of $1,500 a month after taxes. So if you make at least that, that's great. We also want you to have $500 left in your budget after expenses if we added in car note, insurance, and gas. If you're able to add those expenses to your budget, is it too tight where it will hurt you? or is it just enough to where you'll be able to sustain and maintain? Those are key. Another thing we take a look at is stability. We want you to be stable enough to add on the cost of true car ownership and the overall expense of it. So we want you to have at least 6 months to a year of stable income and residency. So we want to take a look at your income coming in from all sources of income. That's all sources of long-term sustainable legal income. We'll count that towards your income. So we take a look at all of those things together, and everyone's case is individualized. We'll take a look at your credit with you to see if there are any red flags or issues that need to be addressed prior to moving forward. We also look at your income coming into your bank account, your income going out of your bank account. Where are you spending your money, and what does your spending habits say? So all of those things are factored in when it comes to character-based lending. It's so much more than simply saying you're a great person. We want to make sure that when you add on this expense to your budget, will it hurt you or will it help you? And we're only here to help you. And last but not least, we need your help too. Now I know you're asking, how can I help you? Well, first, you can apply. You can apply today. Go to ontheroadlending.org and click apply and put in your information to see if we're able to help you get into a vehicle. The next thing you can do is you can refer clients, your family, your friends, your coworkers, someone that you know that may need our assistance or help. Feel free to send them to our website or have them contact us directly. We'd be happy to talk with them. And the next thing is serve as an ambassador for On the Road Lending. That's simply volunteering to spread the word, whether it's sharing it with your coworkers, your family members, your friends, sharing our Facebook pages, liking us on all sorts of social media, or letting us know ways that we can improve. We look forward and we ask for all of your help so we can continue to grow and spread the word about On the Road Lending. So we thank you so much for everything that you've done, giving us the opportunity to speak with you today. And now is the best time to ask questions. If you have any at all, feel free to share now.
All right, thank you all for tuning in to the video Ms. Shaylin put together. I want to open the floor up to any questions that you have for her. And then Ms. Shaylin can also go into detail about a couple of other opportunities that On the Road Lending provides to people in the community.
I'm ready for you whenever you are. Well, if there are no questions, I do want to give you a little background on some new things that we've come up with this coming year to look forward to. One of the things that we'll be doing is we'll be opening up a garage here in the Dallas area in Irving, and it'll be a full service collision repair shop. That facility will house an apprenticeship program for those that are hard to employ, those that have an interest in the collision repair field. So you'll be able to take on a year-long paid apprenticeship program that will be coming up really soon. So please follow us so you can keep up when that is launched and ready to go. But we've also launched an online course for those that have an interest in the automotive collision repair field as well. But it's an online course that is self-paced, and we've partnered with Texas Workforce. So it's for those that have been furloughed, unemployed, or who have a basic interest in collision repair that are wanting to learn more. And so that course goes over the adaptive driving system, and it's very in-depth and it's really interactive. And if you have an interest in this field, automotive industry, I would definitely suggest signing up for that. It's free of charge if you meet the income requirements or if you're a Texas Workforce client who's been furloughed or unemployed, and they'll be the ones to say if you're a good candidate as well too. So that one is available, and you can go to our website for that as well. And of course, applying for our program, we're still up and running and accepting clients and working with those that have any needs whatsoever when it comes to transportation. So we're here to help.
I did have a question. Sorry if I missed it. I was a little late joining. Is there any kind of window that you have to apply for, or are applications open at any time?
They are open at any time. It takes about 10 minutes to do the initial application online. So as soon as you do apply, you get notified if there are anything that's missing, anything that we have any questions about, that we want to follow up on before we move you to a coach. We do it at that time. And let's say you have, you're not ready right now to apply, but later on down in the future, you're getting your savings together, or you're not stably housed yet, or employment is a little unstable right now too, we'll still be around. So keep us in your mind so you don't think that your only options are what's available out there with predatory lenders. We'll still be here.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Is there a minimum? I saw the minimum, the $1,500 a month income you can have. Is there a maximum? Like, is this for particular?
No, that is the beauty of what we do. I'm sure you know, you can make 60, 70,000 a year and have poor credit.
True.
So it does not matter to us when it comes to the max. What we do look is we want you to have enough income to afford adding on the car note. That's why we say income minimum. But if you make more and you still need our assistance, great. We prefer if you're making enough to take on the cost, and if you don't make enough, we don't want to hurt you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shaylin, is there an age limit or age minimum or age maximum to y'all's programs?
Well, there's not an age maximum. I don't think I've ever been asked that before, but there is a minimum. 18 and up, you have to be old enough to, of course, sign a legal binding document such as a loan, and you must be able to drive. You gotta know how to drive. So if you haven't taken your driver's courses yet and have learned how to drive, I think we've had a few people who are in that beginning stages of doing that, but 18 and up is what we look at.
Is that going to be the same minimum age requirement for the collision repair school?
Yes, that will be the same as well too. So if you've just graduated from high school, or you're going to a community college, or you're almost out of high school, that's probably the best range to get started and taking a look. But you can go ahead and submit your interest in the program now, so that way we can follow up with you when it's up and ready to take applicants. Or if you know of someone that's interested in the program and they want to go ahead and follow our pages now, so they can be notified when it's up and running too.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Sharon. This is Dorothy. I don't know. Hey, I'm not sure if I heard if this topic about your credit score. What if you have a bad credit score? Will you still be able to qualify to purchase a vehicle or get financing?
Yes, you can. Because we do character-based lending, approval is not based on your credit score. It's based on your ability to make your payments, your income that you have. You're able to take on the loan. We look at stability of employment. We want good references from your landlords, your employers, agencies or churches that you work with or you're affiliated with. We want to take an overall look at you as a person and your spending habits to see if you'd be a good candidate for the program. So a credit score, as you know, people are not their credit score. And
True.
if given the opportunity with a bit of education, coaching, someone that's there to advocate with you, 75, 80% of our clients or more pay on time. And they're clients who on paper are kind of scary. They may have repossessions, foreclosures, bankruptcies, but if you give people a chance to rebuild or establish their credit the right way, people always rise to the occasion.
True. So is there a certain amount that you would qualify for if you had bad credit? I mean, I heard what you said, that as long as you can afford the car. So if I could afford a $60,000 car with bad credit, would I be allowed to purchase that vehicle?
Well, our sweet spot for the amount of loans usually is anywhere between $15,000 and $17,000 is the cost of the loans. If you can afford And it's truly based on your budget too. We will not
Okay.
overfinance you or put you into
Mhm.
something that your budget cannot sustain.
Okay.
So when we're taking a look at your income and your expenses, we'll look to see when we add in the amount for this car note, for your insurance, for gas and maintenance, can you still maintain all these things and your other bills that you have coming in as well? And we don't want it to be so tight as to where you're paying every penny of your money every month for everything. You should be able to have a little flexibility in your budget if we added in this cost. So we're very careful about making sure it fits for your budget. So I'll give you an example. We're in Texas, of course, and everybody in Texas wants a truck and an SUV.
Right.
We do it big here in Texas, but not everyone has truck SUV budget. They may have Corolla
Mhm.
budget. They may have Honda Accord budget, and that's okay. It's a lot of managing expectations. So when we're talking with you as a client, we say, great, you have this thought about you want a truck. Let's talk about that. If one tire goes out on that truck, can you
Mhm.
afford to replace that one tire in your budget, or will it throw your budget off and you're behind on your bills and it just kind of snowballs from there? So often it's just looking at what they have in their lives going on and how we can be a help to help them be successful in meeting those goals and plans that they have, because the car is just a tool. We want to make sure that it's used to help you advance and succeed in what you want to do.
Okay, one last question.
Yeah.
Are the loans guaranteed, and do you and is the interest rate higher for the vehicle?
Everyone pays the exact same interest rate, regardless of what's on your credit. And that's 9.75%. So if
Okay.
you have no credit at all, or if you have a credit score of 500, I'm sure you know if you go out to any traditional lender, you're looking at high teens or 22, 24% interest on vehicles. But with us, everyone starts at the same starting line. You're able to advance from where you are. And success to us, it comes in a lot of different ways. Whether that's rebuilding your credit to where you've improved it enough to where you can refinance your vehicle and get 3% with a different bank or a credit union. That is success. If you pay your vehicle off and you pay on time and you're able to rebuild your credit or establish it with us as well, and now you have a vehicle paid off in your name, that is still success to us. Another avenue that makes us really different too is, unlike traditional lenders or car dealerships, we don't have a set amount of days or requirements when it comes to repossession of a vehicle. We are not in the business of repossession. We want you to stay in your vehicle, and we will do everything we can to keep you in your vehicle, because we understand if you lose your vehicle and you can't get to work or you can't get your kids to school, it's an endless cycle that just keeps going. And we want to help you, whether it comes to taking a look at your budget again, see what needs to be modified, whether it is making changes to your loan plan, whether it is accepting partial payments for a temporary basis. Sometimes it's simple things that the coaches and advocates help you work through so you're able to afford those things. And sometimes, it just depends on your situation. We try to take a look at everyone's case individually, but our main goal and objective is that you're successful.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And how are you able to do this as a nonprofit, organization and non-traditional lender? How is that possible?
Yes.
And also to create loans for.
Yeah, that is the beauty. I always love this part is we are a social impact investment nonprofit. So we're a social enterprise that has sister organizations that work towards a common goal. So our nonprofit arm essentially does the de-risking or the underwriting to make sure that people are qualified and ready to take on the expense of a loan. And we work in tangent with our loan fund, which is a sister company, OTR Fund 1 and Fund 2, which are designated community loan funds from community members, foundations, individual investors, and they pool all this money together, and that money is only used for families that go through our program. So it's recycling capital over and over again. So the more families we're able to serve and get them into a vehicle, the stronger our loan fund can be. The stronger our loan fund is, the more families we can serve. So it's the best of both worlds.
Great, congratulations. And
Thank
you
you.
for doing this work.
Thank you so much. I definitely want to make sure that this information is shared for sure. So if we can share this to Facebook or whoever directly, just let me know how we can help too. And I'm so happy that you guys invited me out.
I just have one more question for you. Do you guys train or lend to people that have felony convictions?
Yes, we absolutely do. It does not matter to us about your background. We will ask you, for example, I'll give you an example. I won't say no to everything. Driving violations can be a hindrance for you or a barrier when it comes to insurance. If you're unable to get insured, that can prevent you from getting into a vehicle. And that's what we don't want. So we always want to ask you, what are those violations for? What are is it felony, misdemeanor, those kinds of things? And oftentimes, depending on your situation, it's not an issue that can prevent you from getting into a vehicle. Now, the apprenticeship training program, when you apply for that, and if there are any felonies or misdemeanors, they will kind of dig into it and see what it is, just in case there are any issues moving forward. Because when you're going through the program, we want to ensure or make sure that you have the ability to get hired as well. And some of the collision repair shops outside of us may not be able to hire certain felonies or misdemeanors, and we want you to be aware of that prior to.
Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a good question.
Oh, do you grant loans to people who want to buy new cars?
We prefer used vehicles.
Yep.
And for good reason, honestly. The depreciation value of a brand new car is usually not advantageous for you. So if you're coming to us and you have credit challenges or you have no credit history whatsoever, a used vehicle oftentimes is better for you in the long run because that depreciation is already gone. You're essentially being lent money to pay for the value of your car, not the value before you drive off the lot. So we don't want to add more to you. We want it to fit into your budget that's going to work. And then oftentimes too, the 2 to 3 year old car or less, those that have low miles, usually are cars that are fuel efficient, that have low maintenance issues, that have low mechanical issues as well, or maintenance costs up front. And we try and find the right vehicle that works for you. Okay. So we take a lot into consideration when it comes to vehicle matching.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good.
Does anyone else have any other questions for Ms. Shaylin?
Oh, she answered all my questions.
Great, great.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you all for tuning in this evening. This is part 1 of a 3-part series. Part 2 will air next Wednesday at 6 p.m. as well. And then part 3 will air Wednesday, July the 1st at 6 p.m. also. Ms. Shaylin will be part of all 3 of those series. Ms. Shaylin, could you kind of give them a little overview about what part 2 and what part 3 will cover beforehand?
Yes. Part 2 will go in depth into financial education and coaching. It'll focus not only on how our financial education and coaching program works, what we look for, what we highlight and focus on, but we'll also be partnering with another entity as well that is more traditional. So looking at the types of things when it comes to credit, the things that they look for when they're looking to provide lending dollars to you, and what we look for as well, kind of give you the best of both worlds when it comes to your finances and credit and money management. The 3rd series will go over car purchasing and vehicle maintenance. So when is it a good time to let that vehicle go? What are some common things you look at when you are talking about maintenance. What's the difference between maintenance and what your warranty covers? How we differ when it comes to finding the vehicle, and how to be a smarter consumer and not be taken advantage of. If you're going out into the market and you're not going through our program where we advocate for you, you may be going out on your own to find something, but we want you to be smart. Some keys to look for, things to check out when it comes to a vehicle, all kinds of things like that. So good info. So spread the word, tell your friends and family.
All right. Well, if there's no further questions, I just want to thank you all for tuning in. And I hope you guys are available for part 2 and part 3 in the coming weeks. This session is also being recorded and will be shared on our digital media platforms as well through Big Thought. And I will also share it with Shaylin so she can share it through the On the Road Lending platforms as well.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
And a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.